So now we've saved and closed the document, I need to open it again. So I click on File, and then it comes to the Open pane. As we can see, I have 01 Initial Save sitting at the top in today's documents. None of the other Save As options are available because I don't actually have a document open at the moment. But all I do is click on Initial Save, and then my document will open. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pause the video while I just add some text to the document. So there we go, I've just added some more text to the document. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to format the rest of my document. Now I showed you in an earlier video that we can do this by we can select the text, then we can change the font size, then we can change the font style, and then we can change the color. But we now know that that's not the most effective way of working with Word. It isn't. It's just slow, it's laborious, it's inconsistent, and you really don't want to be formatting text like that. What you need to be using is you need to be using all these styles on the ribbon up here. These are the ones that you need to be using. So for example, here's my text here. So I'll start at the top. We have heading 1 and we have my name is Russ Crowley and welcome to my course. Now that's styled in normal, but as we saw before, I changed that by selecting and clicking and clicking and clicking. And now I've selected the entire sentence. Nothing up here is actually highlighted because there's so much going on there. Word doesn't know what to show us. This bit at the end here is not bold, italicized or underlined. This bit's bold, this bit isn't. And by selecting the whole sentence, Word just doesn't know what to do with it. That's one of the problems of clicking up on these bold, italicize and underline buttons. So what we need to do is we need to clear the formatting. And if ever you have trouble with a particular formatting of a text, just select it and then click on this Clear All Formatting button and it will default back to the body text normal style. And there we go. My name is Russ Crowley and welcome to my course. Typing a new sentence. Now I'm going to get rid of that sentence. And to get rid of it, I just select the sentence, including the blank mark at the end. Now this blank mark at the end of the sentence, it's kind of very important in Word, but we can't actually see it, but we know that it does something because we saw in an earlier video about the fact that when I changed the formatting at the end of the sentence here, even though we couldn't see any changes, when I entered the new text, that changed. And so something must be going on there. It stands to reason, right? But we can't see it. And that's because Word has what are called hidden characters. It hides them. But sometimes we need to see them. It's really important in Word. And to do that, to show these characters, we come up into the paragraph subsection of the Home tab. And then we click on this button here, this reverse P. And we left click on that. And then as we can see now, we can see these marks at the end. We can also see these dots between words. These dots are spaces. Word marks these spaces with a dot. So if I add another space and another one and another one, that's 4 spaces in there. And I hope you can see 4 dots. If you can't, I'm now going to come down to my zoom slider. If I zoom into 500%, the maximum zoom, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. And like I just touched on briefly in an earlier video, each of these are what is called a character in Word. And even though you cannot see these when I turn off Show Hide Characters, they're still there. Okay? So when I turn them on, now you can see them. Now I can do things with these characters. I can change the color of these blank spaces if I want. Not that I would, but this is what I can do. And I can make that one, I'll make that one a nice pretty orange. And then when I turn off my invisible characters, you can't see them. But this is what I can actually do. Now, like I say, you wouldn't do this, but this is just illustrating the point. If I select those 3 characters by left-clicking and dragging with my mouse, I can delete those characters. And if I look down here in the status bar where it says 710 words, if I click on that, left-click once on it, Word will show me a word count, and it tells me I have number of characters with no spaces is 3,317, and the number of characters with spaces is 4,005. So if I undo that, and now left click, the 4,005 has gone to 4,008. So Word counts every single character in your document. Okay, so just bear that in mind. And when we select a single character and we apply this bold, this italic, and this underlined to that character, it only applies to that particular thing selected. And this is why these are called character styles. And as I mentioned briefly, these ones are called paragraph styles. Okay, and again, if I turn it off, you're not going to see it. Well, you'll see the underline. That's one of the problems. And that's, like I say, is one of the reasons why you shouldn't use these character styles unless you have to. So I'm now going to select those 4 blank marks, even though I can't see them, and I'm going to clear all formatting. But I haven't deleted any of those 4. And now I have. Okay, so now I'm going to zoom out, and if you've got a mouse wheel, then you can hold down the control key and zoom out by rolling the mouse downwards. And now I want to get 100%. There we go, so I can see my document. And now we come to these little marks at the end of the sentence. Now these things are called paragraph marks. Their actual name is called a pilcrow, but let's just refer to them as paragraph marks. Now these are very important in Word because they store all the information that's in the paragraph to which they belong. So for example, this one here at the end of heading 1 is storing all that information in there. It's blue, it's Calibri Light, it's font size 16. Okay, that's just some of the information. If I click on layout, it's also telling me that there's no left indent, there's no right indent, there's no space, there's 12-point spacing before, there's nothing after. Similarly, with our normal style, this paragraph mark is storing all that information. And this is why they're very, very important, because if you accidentally delete one, then strange things can happen to your document. You've probably seen it, things changed, you know, all the colors and all that kind of gone awry. That's why this actually happens. And they're actually, like I said, they're very, very important. And because they are what's considered a character in Word, if I select one, I can actually copy that by left clicking on copy. Now look what happens if I put my cursor at the end of the first sentence. And now I click on paste. You see what happened there? It's now applied heading 1 to my document. If I put it into the next sentence and I press Ctrl V on my keyboard to paste, that's what it's going to do. That's why these hidden paragraph marks are very, very important. When you come to edit your document, it's important that you turn them on, because if you delete them, strange things will happen, like I just showed you.